Hello guys, welcome at Layman Expert. Here I am with another video explaining directory structure of the Linux operating system. In this video we will try to understand what are the different directories and how they are arranged in the system and what kind of files they hold. The main purpose of this video is to make you aware about the system, because in last video we have practiced different commands like cd, pwd, cd ... If you know the directory structure of the Linux, then you will be very good at executing those commands. Otherwise, in the beginning you will feel little discomfort, or you will be very uncomfortable using commands like mkdir, cd, in which directory should move, where are we. All these things could be difficult for you. But if you will grasp the directory structure, then these things will be very easy for you. You will just focus on your work rather than focusing on the navigation, how to move this directory, how to move in that directory. Okay, so let's begin. Now this is how directory structure of a Linux operating system look. This is a root directory and all other directories are inside this root directory. These are the different directories. I will explain you what is the meaning of these different directories, why they are named so, and what kind of information, file configuration they hold. So just have a look here. But I have shown you this figure, but how will you see this in your actual terminal? For that you need to execute this command ls-la and / ls is for the listing of the directory, -l tell you that I want to see the output in the list form. Okay, this is the list form, one directory in a line, and all the information they have provided here in just one line about a directory. A gives a command that terminal need to show the hidden directories that begins with dot, and this is the folder which I am listing. That is means I am listing root. So you can see bin, boot, dev, etc, home, lib, mnt, opt. In the previous slide you can see here also bin, boot, dev. So you can relate this structure, this tree graph, with the output, so it will be handy for you. Now before we just start discussing about the directory structure, let's first clear our basics about the directory, what actually a directory is. So it is a listing structure which contains references of other computer files and other directories. Notice here I have changed the color of these important words because they hold some meaning. First thing, directory is a listing structure. You have seen the file, which is actually a structured record. A file is a structured record, it holds so many information, but directory is just a listing structure. It does not contain any file. It just try to give you the view of that file by the way of listing inside it, and listing which contains a reference. It does not contain file, it contains reference of that. Okay, files are always on, they are on a hard drive, there are no folders in between them. So there are different files, they have reference, but we organize them in different folders so we can easily access them, understand them. Think about if all the operating system files and your documents, your movies are just in one folder, how difficult it would be for you to search your files. And it is possible that accidentally you will delete some system files or delete some important files. So this directory contains references of other computer files or other directories as well. I would like to show you something very interesting about the references. How does they work? I have opened my drive D here. There is a file named test file. The size of this file is 1.73 gigabyte. Okay, now if I will cut this file from here, just cut and paste inside it, you see that 1.73 GB just moved instantly from drive E to this folder VM. And if I will move back, it just almost instantaneous. But what would happen if I cut this file from here, from drive E, and paste in drive D? You can see that actual transfer is happening. So what was the difference between these two? The main difference between these two files were that earlier I was just moving this file inside this folder. This file was in E drive, and after moving this file into this folder, this was also in E drive, but inside the VM folder. So earlier the path of this drive file was only E. Now if I will change this to VM, path will become E. File is not moving anywhere. It's just changing its reference. Physical location of the file is still same. But when I move this file from E drive to D drive, the physical location start to change. That is why it was taking time to copy it. So you understand the word reference here. It is very important. This could be asked in interviews, so be prepared for that. It is a very small detail, but it will give an insight about you, the interviewer or the person who will be asking how much you know, how much strong your basics are. Okay, so it's only a reference. It's a listing structure and contains only reference. Now just look at the Linux directories. First directory is bin directory. I have put a slash here because it is inside the root directory. So slash bin. Bin holds the executable binaries. Executable binaries, I mean you execute commands like tar, cd, ls, mkdir. So these are actual executable programs. This program is designed to make directory, this designed to list the directory, this designed to change your prompt. Okay, so all these commands are inside the directory. Suppose you write a program in C language and create an executable binary of that and put your file inside this bin folder. You will find that you can execute that file. Just suppose I made a command named layman. Okay, layman is a file, and I placed it inside the bin folder. So I can execute this as a command. Just I will type on my prompt like layman, and it will execute as a command just like cdls. So this bin folder holds the executable binaries, and whatever you will put inside this bin folder, it will be available system wide. Now boot, whenever we turn on our computer, the certain files that load up, so boot directory holds those files, and most important among them is VM liners. That file generates the image of your RAM at the time of installation. I will teach you about this in detail because it requires more attention. Just for now, you just understand the VM liners file is inside the boot directory, and boot directory is responsible for booting up your system. Now dev means here devices. It holds the connected devices like CD, hard drive, your pen drives that you will connect. They are all available in the /dev directories. I have taught you about the installing this system and having your hands with some basic commands. So you can go in these directories and list them and see the output. You will understand it a lot better. Now etc directory is for storing configuration files. Suppose you install Apache server or FTP server. All those configuration are made in this file. So etc is for configuration. Now home directory. /home contains different users. Suppose you have user 1, user 2 and user 3. So all these directories will be inside the home, and in every of these user file there will be a directory of documents, desktop and all that. So home directories will have the user directories or user file directory. MNT is a mounting. Suppose you connected a pen drive. Okay, immediately it will be available in /dev, but it will not be accessible. You cannot access the file system of that. You cannot access the files stored in that. So you will have to mount that directory to some folder with some file system. Then you will be able to access this directory. But in modern Linux, you will just put a pen drive in a USB port and it will appear on your desktop. But if you want to see where it actually exists, so go open your command terminal and go list this MNT directory or list/media directory. You will find that your pen drive is actually mounted at that place, or your pen drive or CD drive, and then after it appeared on your desktop. Now the root directory. Remember, I have told you about the home directory. The home directory is the home directory of all the users of the system that you have created. The root directory is a home directory of a root user, that is a super user. So it contains the files of files on the desktop, document, pictures and downloads of the root user. Now the SRV. This is a SRV and this is a var. SRV stands for server. Actually it's not a full form, it's just SRV. Just you don't say that this is a full form of this, there's no full form in it. SRV, there's some Linux distributions use SRV folder to create their web server. Suppose srv/www, when you will run Apache, the www folder will create under SRV. But it is not true for all distros, because some distro use the same Apache server and they create directory inside the var. So there's a difference between them, but there's no difference in them. There is no exception. They are true for every distro. Here there is some Arch based Linux use this format, Debian based Linux use this format. It's up to the distribution. It's just for your understanding. Now earlier I have shown you the image by running this command, the output of this command. You'll notice here there is a 2 dots. In every directory whatsoever, the root, the bin, or you have created your own, there will be these 2 dots. What are these 2 dots? These 2 dots are actually the pointers. This single dot holds the pointer of a present directory, okay, and double dot holds the pointer of previous directory. Let me explain you here via tree structure. Suppose there is a directory A, okay, there is a directory B, and there is a directory C. So B directory would have pointer dot and double dot, C directory would have pointer dot and double dot, A directory would have pointer dot and double dot. Okay, so the double dot of B directory will point to A directory, double dot of C directory will point to A directory, and single dot of this will point this, and single dot of this directory will point this. Suppose you created another directory called D. So as soon as you will create the D directory, the information stored in the single dot of B directory will transfer to the double dot of B directory. This is the function of the single dot. So double dot of D directory would start pointing to B, and D, single dot of D will point here. So this is how this is the meaning of these 2 dots. I have told you about the command in my previous video, cd space double dot. This double dot is the same thing written here, or I have explained it here. When I say the cd double dot, that means change my directory to the parent of this directory. If I am inside the B directory and typed cd double dot, that means change my directory to the parent directory of the B, that is A. Okay, so this is the meaning of double dot. I would like to give you an assignment here. Suppose you have to create A directory, inside it B and C. Okay, you don't create D directory. Okay, you just create A directory, inside A create B and C directory. Go inside B directory and try to create a directory inside C in a single line. Usually what we will do, if we are inside in B directory, we will just type cd double dot, we will reach to A directory, then type cd C, we will be inside C directory, and then type mk dir D, and D directory will create. So how many commands will you execute? 1, 2 and 3 commands. But your assignment is here to create this D directory inside the C while being inside the B in a single command. I am giving you a hint here. These dots will be used here. Okay, by using these dots you can do by residing in B directory and creating to a child directory of the sibling of the B, that is C. Please try to execute this command, apply your creativity here, and when you successfully do it, please post your answer in a comment section below. Okay, let's see how many people get it done. Now you can do another experiment. I have told you about that every directory has dot and double dot. Okay, the root directory will have dot and double dot, bin directory will have dot and double dot, boot directory will have dot and double dot. So when I am inside the bin directory, I will type cd double dot and I will reach it. reach to the root directory. But what would happen if I type cd double dot while being at root? Where this command will throw me, where this command will locate me, what would happen if I will just try to do, what would be the output? And as soon as you will find the answer, that too post in the comment section. I'm curious to know how many people get it. So thank you guys, thanks for watching. Please like, share and comment on this video, and do solve both of those assignments. It will help you to clear your concepts, and if you got any problem, any question, please do ask in the comment section. Thank you.